Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Q, and today I wanted to talk about spiritual hygiene, also known as spiritual cleansing. This is a topic that I feel that many people who are new to magic, who are new to spirituality, forego because it's always put out there that people should be working spells, people should be, just jumping right into doing things. And that usually comes at a cost because it's usually done without a proper foundation. And spiritual cleansing, along with basic spiritual protection, and if you're a hoodoo or someone in an ATR, you should also be working with your ancestors and practicing ancestral veneration. But again, right now we're just talking about spiritual hygiene. Now, why is spiritual hygiene important? It's important because as spiritual workers, we work with and we shape and direct energy, and we also work with and communicate with various spirits. And I'm not just talking about spirits of, say spirit beings or entities like maybe angels or things like that. But I'm also talking about the natural spirits of the natural world as well. So when you're working with energy, when you're shaping energy, when you're directing energy, when you're working with spirits, all of that tends to build up, kind of like product buildup. It builds up on you, and it builds up on your auric field. And if it's not removed, if you're not doing your cleansings, things can start to build up on your auric field. Things can start to manifest in your life in ways that you don't want it to. I think most of us remember from science class that energy is neither created nor destroyed, right? So what happens when you maybe get into an argument with a family member? What happens when you're having a bad day and you don't push that energy somewhere else? It builds up and it builds up, and then things can start to get a little wonky in your life. So what do you want to do? You want to spiritually cleanse yourself and cleanse your home. And one of the ways you can do this is with incense. You can also spiritually cleanse in the shower, and you can do spiritual baths. I am a hoodoo, so I like to spiritually cleanse myself via spiritual baths. Now, one thing that I want to say is that spiritual cleansing is a form of spiritual baths, but not all spiritual baths are spiritual cleansing baths. So I just want to make that distinction right then and there. Now, you may want to say, okay, well, this sounds good, but how do I know that I need to spiritually cleanse myself or spiritually cleanse my home, right? Here are some things that you can think about. Let's say, for example, that you've been working hard towards a goal. Say you want to get a promotion at work. You're working hard, you're staying late. Things just aren't panning out. You're not even hearing good things from your boss, from your supervisor. It could be because you need to spiritually cleanse yourself. Another way to know if you need a spiritual bath is brain fog. If you know that you're a person that normally thinks clearly, has the ability to really focus in and get things done, but now you're kind of finding it hard to focus, hard to stay on track with things, you may need a spiritual cleansing. You may be a person that's normally happy-go-lucky, always positive, always upbeat, always charismatic, and lately you start to have thoughts of self-sabotaging thoughts like, well, maybe I can't do this, maybe I shouldn't try this. If thoughts like that aren't normal for you, then you probably need a spiritual bath, because everything, coming from the environment, what you hear on TV, radio, social media, all those things, it seeps into your space. It seeps onto you as a person, onto your auric field. And with that seepage, things start to get a little bit low vibrational. So definitely, if you're having self-sabotaging thoughts, go ahead and get some spiritual cleansing done. Now, you also want to spiritual cleanse before you do any kind of important magical or spiritual rituals or workings. There's a lot of conversation about this. Some people say that they don't do spiritual cleansings before important rituals. Some people say that they do. I am an advocate for cleansing before an important spiritual ritual or a spiritual working, because when you spiritually cleanse yourself and spiritually cleanse your space, the energetic slate is clean, so to speak. So think of it as like you want to write an essay. You get a clean sheet of paper, right? So you can start writing on. That spiritual cleansing is going to make your auric field like that clean sheet of paper. So now you have a clean canvas, to work from. You should also spiritually cleanse yourself and your home after hard situations and life events. Say that there's a death in your family. Say that you've recently lost your job and now things are hard. Say you've experienced some type of trauma. You're going through a divorce. You were pregnant and you've had a miscarriage. Situations like that are extremely hard and they're very emotional. And that sadness, that anger, that being upset, that fear, all of that kind of energy can seep into your home environment and definitely stick on you. So definitely do your cleansing, your spiritual cleansing, anytime you experience situations like that. Now, the next point really should be common sense, but for some, it's not, because common sense isn't. If you are someone that is doing any kind of hexing work, left hand work, cursing work, you definitely need to spiritually cleanse yourself after that, as well as your altar space or wherever you did that working. Why? Even if it's justified, that's a lot of hard energy. Building up the energy to reverse things back to someone, to justifiably curse, it's harsh and it's very potent energy. And you definitely need to cleanse after that. Because again, stuff like this can seep into your home. I'm not saying it's going to backfire. I don't believe in spells backfiring. But I do believe in energetic mishandlings. And if you're not cleansing yourself and your space after you're doing some hexing work, some left hand work, there's the potential for things to go awry. Like I said, not because it's necessarily bad, but because energy. It's all about energy. Now, if you think that someone has cursed you, is working magic on you, someone is jealous of you, someone is throwing magic at you, you definitely need to spiritually cleanse. And I mean, you need to spiritually cleanse. You need to do, from my hoodoo perspective, from my perspective as a magical worker, you need to do as many spiritual baths or spiritual cleansings as possible. At least 3, at the very least 3, even though that may not be enough, depending on the skill level of the worker and depending on whether or not they have enlisted the help of spiritual beings, right? So you definitely need to cleanse and cleanse and cleanse if you think that you have been cursed. And this can start to manifest, and this really isn't a discussion on cursing. I'll probably save that for another video. But if you notice that, you lost your car keys, then you're in an Uber and you get into a car accident, you lose your bank card, now you have shit blowing up at home, your refrigerator dies and now you have to buy another one. All of these things happening in a short period of time, that may be some work being thrown at you. And so spiritual cleansing is going to be the first thing that you do to mitigate that. Now, moving on to how often do you spiritually cleanse? That is completely up to you. I know that there are some people who advocate for spiritual cleansings every week. There are some who do many spiritual cleansings in the shower every day. And then there are some people who spiritually cleanse once a month, both themselves and their home. However often you do it is up to you. I would suggest that you speak with your ancestors, you speak with your spirit guides, and talk about that, and then develop a spiritual cleansing plan that's right for you, because it shouldn't be a chore and you shouldn't feel like you're doing it so much that you don't want to do it anymore. It should be something that you want to do. You should invite this practice into your life. So don't get obsessed with doing it, but just make sure that you're doing it on a routine schedule, the same way as if, you go to the nail salon for a pedicure, or however often you go to, get your hair done or whatnot. Make sure that it's in a time frame that is one that you can stick to. Now, as far as what can you use for spiritual cleansing, me personally, I work with the spirits of various herbs and nature to get that done. I would suggest that you research herbalism on your own. Research cleansing herbs, research, herbs according to various spiritual practices. See which ones resonate with you, see which ones pop out to you, and speak to your ancestors and spirit guides to see which herbs will be best for cleansing both yourself and your home. I can't make that decision for you. It's a very personal decision and a very spiritual decision, and everyone is going to choose what works for them. I'm not here to necessarily be the spiritual police. So that's spiritual cleansing. And a quick wrap up. If you have any questions about this, let me know. I'll answer them. If you want to email me, my email address can be found somewhere in my channel information. That's about it. I just want everyone who is coming to this path of spirituality, of magical practicing, to make sure that they're starting their path off building a solid foundation. And you do that with routine spiritual cleansing. All right, everyone. Have a good day.